That is fascinating.
So technology's come a long way.
Yes, yes. And
Absolutely.
speaking of technology, 1998, you'd already been active, obviously, in volunteering with the Heart Association, but I think you brought a copy of a certificate there from your wall.
I did.
Which is fascinating. And can I hold that up? Not that viewers can see that, but it is an incredible piece which highlights something very special. Would you mind sharing with folks, at least reading a little bit of that, Ann?
Well, I'm a big volunteer, and in '98 I was recognized as a '98 Volunteer Recognition Award. A research grant and aid has been funded in your name to Dr. David Simpson of the University of South Carolina, and there's a fancy project for the research, but to be able to earn money in the Heart Walk or the Heart Ball or something, and then have a research grant in my name was probably one of the biggest highlights of all the volunteering I've done.
That has to be. And that was 1998, almost a decade ago.
And I'm still volunteering. I'm still very involved with the Heart Walk and the Heart Ball, and I don't do the ride-a-thon, though.
The ride-a-thon is there's a special crew that goes out there to make that happen. But of course, we think about these events, Ann. Of course, you were the president of the board, the Waccamaw Division, the Horry Georgetown board, I guess right before I was. 5 years or 10 years or 6, 7 years ago. And it's fascinating when we think about the three events here. $250,000 raised with the horseback ride-a-thon, 26 years of that where folks are coming out to ride on the beach, almost $250,000 raised on a regular basis with the Heart Walk, obviously $200,000 this past year, and then expectations of this Saturday night raising pushing $370,000 yeah.
You just sell some more tickets and get those people here and get them excited.
And tickets are still available.
Okay, great.
Are tickets still available?
I think so.
Yeah. This on Monday. We're still a few days away. Folks can still make an effort to call in. The number's real simple.
626-3939.
Okay, 626-3939. Of course, folks hear $175 for a ticket and think, how can I pay that? What's going on? That's crazy. The food and everything's not worth that, but that's not what they need to be thinking about. It's worth a lot, but there's also more than just.
It goes to a great cause, and the money we raise in the state of South Carolina stays in the state. And even though Myrtle Beach does not have a research facility in the city of Myrtle Beach, it goes to like University of South Carolina or MUSC or Clemson, and then because of the research and everything at those facilities, that benefits everybody in the state.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't go out of state.
That's exactly right, and that's a critical. And of course, $2+ million invested back into those three schools for research. Examples just like that Dr. Simpson got and the grant and aid in your honor. Examples like what's happening down at MUSC and the pediatric cardiologists that break out. Dr. Daniel Lackland is now the president of the Mid-Atlantic affiliate of 5-state board of the Heart Association. He's down in Charleston. When you hear him, and of course, a lot of his work, Ann, is focused on strokes. And the American Stroke Association, which is so intertwined with the American Heart Association, fighting heart disease and stroke.
And in our county, we're one of the biggest in the country for strokes and heart disease, and that's our eating habits and our lack of exercise and our sedentary.
That's a tough word to say. I'm not even going to try to.
I botched it.
Right, something like that. Yeah.
But we're huge for heart attacks and stroke in Horry County because of that, and that's something that the Heart Association does too with the education and trying to get it out to the schools as young as kindergarten, try and teach these kids don't smoke, get out and exercise, do the jump roping, do the basketball, whatever it is, and eat healthy.
Speaking of that, Ann, you had talked about your office working hard. This Saturday, aside from the Heart Ball, is also the
marathon.
The Myrtle Beach Marathon. I think your
backed
office
out.
Is that Prudential, Burroughs, and Chapin Realty?
Yes. And this is the 10th year of the marathon, and this is the 10th year that we have participated as a marathon team. We always have a 5-man relay team. This year, I think we have 5-man relay teams.
Wow.
And it's just good camaraderie. We're always the bottom of the barrel. You look in the paper the next day, and it's always crew 1, 2, and 3. We're at the bottom of the teams.
That's hilarious.
But we have so much fun doing it.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually backed out so I can help with the decorating and everything. I was on one of the relay teams.
You said 5 teams of 5? So 25 folks that are committed to run at least 5 miles.
They
or
walk.
Around that. Yeah,
a lot of them walk, some jog,
yeah.
some really put an effort to it for the photo ops, I think. But
that's
it's
hilarious.
fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
And you said Marvin Hyde, your
He's my boss.
was very active in helping
He's the
make
one that
happen.
coordinates it all, and he usually does the last 6.2 legs. He does that last 6.2 leg, which is the longest stretch of the 5-man relay.
Of the 5, so we might not see him at the Heartball then that night.
No, I doubt if
he
we'll
might
see
be a
him.
little worn out. Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
And then usually a couple weeks later, he'll do the bridge run in Charleston.
Is that
He's done that, I think, for I don't even know how many years. He's been doing that for many years.
That's a great commitment on Marvin's part. When you're thinking about fighting heart disease and stroke, a lot of it starts with good health.
That's right.
Making an effort towards bettering our health.
Yeah, that's true.
We've just got about 5 minutes in, and let's think about, again, of course, you talked about so many of the things that are happening behind the scenes, but a lot of things begin happening 3, 4, 5 months out as we're locking up sponsors and, of course, begin selling tickets as we get closer, locking up a venue well in advance, like Kingston Plantation.
And the
again.
band. You got to pick the band that's got to be available that night. Let's see.
Tons of stuff that
invitations, planning the
Right.
invitations, the invitation list. Who do you send it to? Do you send it to everybody from the last 13 years, or do you send it to the people that have attended the last couple years? How much postage do you want to spend? Planning whether there's posters, the media campaign,
Right.
the blitzes, auction items,
Auction items, that's
sponsorships.
so critical, yes. Auction items and sponsorships. Oftentimes sponsorships, the presenting sponsor, they try to get it a good 12 months in advance. Those are tough to do oftentimes, and particularly in a small community like this with the goals rising and rising and rising, trying to reach $400,000 this Saturday, it's a big deal.
And when you have so many other different events this community does, March of Dimes, you've got the hospital galas, with the black and blue ball,
Sure.
Sertoma balls, all sorts of things, and the community is wonderful at giving and sponsoring and attending events and donating things, and that's incredible for a community.
Absolutely. And the phone number's simple again. If folks still wanted to, and oftentimes folks can come in at the last minute to donate an auction item to help raise the dollars. I know it's gotten tight. Shannon Camp's worked so hard
she's
to
done
get
an
them all
incredible
together
job.
and wrap it up. At the same time, oftentimes things will slip in and be in the program book and just be available to help. The phone number's simple.
626-3939.
626-3939. And, of course, folks can get a auction donor slip to fill out, to send back in, so we've got something in hand that day, which is critical.
And they've got to realize that it's too late to get it printed in the official booklet and everything, but if they've got an item they want to still donate, please call 626-39 and we'll fax you the form. You can fill it out, fax it back, and we'll print something up and slip it in all the programs.
Yes, and I think even this close at hand, there's still an opportunity if folks wanted to band together to get a corporate table. They can still maneuver some of the seating around. Of course, Tammy and so many of the volunteers are working to make sure the seating is as set and as promised to the sponsors, so they get the. Obviously, it's kind of a pay for play. The more you pay to fight heart disease and stroke, the better your seating in the event. But at the same time, so many volunteers. It seems like almost everyone in the crowd is a volunteer of a sense. Paying a little extra to be there to make it happen. But nothing like the volunteers behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into that. There really is.
Right.
But it's a beautiful event. It's black tie, long dress, gorgeous women. It's fun.
Listen to that. Yeah, let's get back to the gorgeous women. There we are.
It's just fun to attend. It is, even if you don't bid on anything. The food, the dancing, we tie up that dance floor till the band says enough is enough, we got to go. And it's just a great event. It really is, and for a great cause.
Absolutely. And actually, we're thankful that Ashlyn Clark has consented and is willing for folks who may have missed her last Thursday to come in to do the special appeal. It's not all about fun and games. Of course, we've got Diane Devon Stokes, who is fun and games, emceeing, Coach David Bennett, who is fun and games, but very serious, doing the auction, and then Ashlyn Clark doing our special appeals.
Well, good,
to
because
share
I've not
with
heard her
folks.
speak
And you
yet.
haven't, so
yeah, I'm looking forward. I think I've introduced myself to her, but I've not had a In fact, I don't even know if I've done that yet.
Is that right? She's a
don't
great
think I
gal,
have.
a Socastee High School senior.
cheerleader,
In
yeah.
that instance where you're a cheerleader and working out 2 and 3 hours a day, and then your feet and hands start turning blue, you recognize something's wrong. And she had her surgery out in Houston and flew out there, and of course she said she and her grandparents now are part of the Zipper Club.
I'm part of the Zipper Club,
and
too.
You're part of that same club. You're also real active. We just got a couple of minutes, Ann, with Mended Hearts.
Mended Hearts. It is a support group for people who've been through heart events, whether it's just something like a stent or major open heart surgery or valve replacement or whatever it may be. We are people that have been there. We have a visitation program, so our members actually go up to Grand Strand Hospital and visit people in the ward.
Really?
That either before or after they've had surgery, and that we can answer questions. We can do it by phone. We can do it email if people are more comfortable that way. But we meet once a month, and It's a good group. I enjoy it. I'm the treasurer, and I also do the newsletter this year.
Is that right? That is tremendous. And of course, one of the new board members in the Waccamaw division is a longtime active member of Mended Hearts with you, I believe. The gentleman seated with you at some board meetings.
Oh, Ken Cushion.
Yes.
This is the first year he's been on the board. So I said
great.
we need to be a liaison between Mended Hearts and the Heart Association.
And that is a critical role y'all hold, aside from just volunteering, or aside from your active volunteering for this Saturday night's event. The Mended Hearts program is a tremendous one. If a viewer was interested in finding out about Mended Hearts, is there a phone number they could call, or even just calling Tammy? Tammy would probably have information.
Tammy might be able to. If not, Grandstand Regional Hospital, the cardiac rehab people would definitely know about us.
Okay.
Because we have a bulletin board there.
And many thanks again.
Thank
Look
you.
forward to seeing you this Saturday.
All right,
Absolutely.
looking forward to seeing you.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Ann Laymon coming up next.
Join the fight against heart disease and stroke as Understanding Corporation presents the 13th Annual Waccamaw Area Heart Ball. It's a sparkling black tie gala that features a reception, live and silent auction, and gourmet dining. Then, dance the night away with entertainment by Jumpstart. It all takes place on Saturday, February 17th in the Kensington Ballroom at Kingston Plantation. Call now to reserve your seat at the 13th Annual Waccamaw Area Heart Ball.
Think about that. After 28 years with no heart problems, Ann began experiencing some shortness of breath. Went forward a couple of months and pops in, not for her first heart surgery, not for her second, not even for her third, but for her fourth heart surgery. Think about that at age 3, then at age 7 or 8, then at age 15. The experiences in an early age, it's events like this Saturday night's Heart Ball that brings it all together and helps recognize the importance. In March of 2004, had it not been for those earlier surgeries and had it not been for the support of groups like the American Heart Association, Ann may not have known what to do, but she knew immediately, get on this, let's do something about it, and it helped save her life. Help be a part of making a difference for the American Heart Association this Saturday night. 626-3939 is the phone number. This Saturday night is the 13th Annual American Heart Ball. Make a difference. Help fight heart disease and stroke.